Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Star Flames and we're back with another video. In this video guys, we're talking about that Tyler Perry lawsuit once again because I'm looking on social media because I want to see how the internet is reacting to this report of Tyler Perry getting sued. I wanted to know if I'm the only one who wasn't seeing any signs of the allegations in those text messages. Now, for me on a personal level, I've always thought that it's possible that Tyler Perry could be living in the closet, but I've never thought of him as someone who would arrest an individual. However, it doesn't mean that if someone comes out with very strong allegations, I'm going to dismiss their allegations. But what is, pushing me to dismiss this individual's allegation, Derek Dixon, is because even though he's alleging that these things had happened and he's saying that he has text messages to back up his statement, the text messages are not proving an ounce of SA. It is proving where he basically tried to sneak in little things here and there. And Tyler Perry was like, good luck with that, because the person who can get you that Oscar is behind bars. So what I'm getting is that every time he tries to sneak in something, I see a man who has been a friend to an individual. And I think that he was basically, setting his little traps, setting his little nuggets here and there. And Tyler Perry was respectful, decent, and was coaching this individual consistently. Love on yourself. Remember to love on yourself. Remember to put yourself first. Remember that, the story of the Illuminati in the industry is not true, but if there's weird ish and if someone approaches you and you don't wanna, just say no and say it firm and say it strong. So when you even look at the text messages, at one point, I was even lost as to who is saying what. And you guys know that if there was any sign of SA or SH in those text messages, it would be so easily detectable. So I said to myself, you know what? Why we can't beat his words, like he's saying, oh, when I drank too much, I laid in the bed and he put his hands up my thighs. We can't dispute that because we don't know if that had happened. But for me, what I'm disputing are those text messages. So I said, you know what? I want to go to social media because I want to see if there are other people who are seeing the same thing I'm seeing. Like, I'm not seeing any evidence of such allegations in the text messages. So I said, we're better to do a survey other than social media, where it's the only place where we were all cultured differently, same platform, but different people from different walks of life. We reasoned differently. We were all educated differently. Some of us somewhat in the same capacity, but overall we were all educated and cultured differently. So I said, let's pull some survey from social media to see how social media feels about this lawsuit. Because there's one thing about social media. Oftentimes they get it, and when they get it really good, and sometimes they miss it, right? So I wanted to see what social media is feeling. Now, so far, based on what I've came across, more than 90% of the internet is not believing it. And when the internet is so stern, and when the majority of people are saying this did not happen based on those text messages, because, we can only use the text messages that he provided to us. What he's saying that he experienced, it doesn't need to make sense to you and I, but it just has to make sense in court. You can sue anyone for anything, but the thing is, it has to be plausible. And by the way of the text messages not plausible. The other stuff that he said he experienced, the physical contact, what would make anyone want to dismiss his allegations of those physical contact, uh, um, are the text messages, because what people are going to say is that if you're submitting these text messages that are not proving anything, it means that we cannot take your word for anything. So on social media, I went ahead and everyone is sharing it, right? But we're going to go with the two popular pages, Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked. So Shade Room did two posts on it. They did one post where they detailed, the details of the lawsuit. They did a second post where they shared the text messages, right? So Shade Room is saying the alleged text messages between actor Derek Dixon and Tyler Perry have been released following the news of Derek's $260 million lawsuit against the mogul. One person was like, this don't prove anything. Tyler Perry, we stand with you. Another person said, no, we're on Tyler's side. Next story. Another person was like, am I missing something? Then we have the Ice Cube emoji, like the person is saying, what the shit is this? Another person was like, where's the sexual harassment? Looks like friend conversation, character development, and workplace professionalism. Another person says, this proves nothing. It's given he saw Tyler on the yacht with old boy and now he's jealous and upset. That's what I got too. Another person said, I read the messages, reread the messages, and ran to the comments to see if you understood the harassment, and well, so the person is saying they still can't see it. Another person says, I don't know, maybe I'm being delusional, but I didn't see anything outside of corny friend text. Another person is saying, is the harassment in the room with us? This is the key at best. Tyler said, you just need to get through the guilt and get outside. I don't need iCarly peer phone to call a shakedown when I see one. Another person was like, either y'all can't read or y'all lack comprehension, but this is not sexual harassment. If you're going to put out evidence, give us evidence. Another person says, if you can't come with receipts like Cassie and she got 30 mil, how you expect to get 260 with this nonsense? Proves Tyler Perry. Another person says, proves Tyler Perry, who we all thought he was part of LGBT community. So what if he is? Where's the crime in being gay? There's no crime in being gay, straight, or taken, or even single. Come on. Now they're saying, where's the people who read it? Read it at? I got a couple of questions like, what is going on? Another person was like, he clearly was trying to bait Tyler Perry into something and he didn't go for it. He clearly says, I hope you find that, my friend. And the only people who can do that for you are in jail. You tried and you failed. Now you won't work again. Another person says, who did we kidnap? Is it Chelsea or Kelsey Clinton? Another person, it was a boring conversation. I'm suing for my time. Another person, I wasted my popcorn reading that. It's true because it's truly and really not showing a single instance nor ounce of any sexual harassment. It's really not given any ounce of sexual harassment whatsoever. And I think it is unfair for people to get passed through the legal system with this bogus nonsense. No, Mr. Hollywood Unlocked. Now over there, they're saying, is this harassment? Every man on the internet owes us women a check. Another person says, is this harassment in Da Vinci Code? Because I don't see it. Tyler is so gay. He texted, I roll. That's true. The I roll portion was like, child, please. That is what Tyler was saying to him. Like, Tyler was coaching this man, mentoring this man, and that's what he got as payback. Another person was like, okay, HR here, sexual harassment, any unwelcome behavior of sexual nature. These are consensual conversation. Next. Not a single time did I see him reject Tyler. Yeah, know what? Never mind. Another person was like, where's the harassment part? Is this harassment? I need to start using a lot of these ninjas. Another person was like, so like they had been discussing Derek intimacy issues and he was being friend. Another person, we don't believe you, Derek. Tyler too smart to risk his fortune this carelessly. Another person said, set up, our black men are definitely under attack. Another was, if my boss was texting me like this, I would absolutely feel harassed. Another person says, if this is harassment, I'd hate for y'all to read me my sister's text. Another person said, this seems like an opportunity to attempt to tarnish his image more than anything. Shake my head. Another, sounds more like a counseling session. And that's it. The internet clearly doesn't see any sign of sexual harassment either. And I thought that I couldn't be the only one because, while I don't know anything, I think common sense wins and the messages are there. At one point, I was like, who is saying what in these text messages? Because I was so waiting to see the sexual assault or the sexual harassment, and there was no such sign of such thing. Man, I tell you, people can do the most wasting our time. And I think we need to come together and sue Derek. The netizens needs to sue him for wasting our time. All of that for absolutely nothing. Like, can you imagine being so hungry that you want to ruin someone's image and reputation? Nothing for $260 million. All because what? What happened? I'm wondering, Derek, are you okay? Did you check in with your therapist, honey? Please go get some therapy. Like, leave this man alone and get some help, honey, because you've just ruined it for yourself. Well, anywho, guys, what's your take? Did you see any signs of SA or SH? Leave a comment below. While you're at it, do all you need to do on this video to support your girl. Peace.